You spend hours every day being productive, but somehow finish with nothing meaningful done. What if you could accomplish more by doing less? In this video, I'll share what neuroscience reveals happens to your brain when you eliminate distractions for just 7 days, and the results will shock you. I discovered the power of this challenge when I realized I was working 12 hours a day but only producing 2 hours of actual results. Research from UC Irvine shows it takes an average of 23 minutes to refocus after a single interruption. The problem is, most people are interrupted every 3 minutes throughout their day. That means you're never actually focused. By the end of this video, you'll know exactly how to run your own 7-day distraction detox and what transformations to expect each day. Let's dive in. Now, here's where it gets interesting and uncomfortable. Most people quit during these first 48 hours because they mistake withdrawal for failure. During the first 2 days of eliminating distractions, your brain literally goes through dopamine withdrawal. Your phone, social media, and constant notifications have been triggering dopamine hits every few minutes, sometimes hundreds of times per day. When you suddenly remove these triggers, your brain starts craving that chemical reward. You'll feel restless, anxious, and convinced you're missing something important. Your hand will automatically reach for your phone even when it's not there. Research from Harvard Medical School found that every notification creates a small dopamine spike similar to gambling. Dr. Anna Lemke, psychiatrist at Stanford, explains that our brains have become addicted to these micro-rewards. This works because your brain has been conditioned through thousands of repetitions to expect instant gratification. When that gratification disappears, you experience genuine withdrawal symptoms, irritability, phantom phone vibrations, compulsive checking behaviors, and difficulty concentrating. First, physically remove temptations. Put your phone in a drawer across the room. Use app blockers like Freedom or Cold Turkey, and tell people you're doing a challenge so they don't expect instant responses. Second, replace the habit loop. Every time you feel the urge to check your phone, do 10 push-ups or drink water. Your brain needs a new dopamine trigger, not just removal of the old one. Third, expect discomfort and name it. Say out loud, "This is withdrawal, not emergency." Studies show that labeling emotions reduces their intensity by 40%. For instance, instead of grabbing your phone when bored, try grabbing a book or going for a 5-minute walk. The urge typically passes in 90 seconds if you don't act on it. But that's not all, because something remarkable starts happening on day 3. This next phase is crucial, and it's where most people realize they can never go back to their old habits. Around day 3, you'll experience what I call mental defragmentation. Suddenly, you'll notice thoughts you haven't had in months. Creative ideas appear while you're walking or showering. You'll remember conversations more clearly and actually finish tasks you start. Your attention span, which had shrunk to goldfish levels, begins expanding. You might find yourself reading for 30 to 45 minutes straight without once thinking about your phone, something that seemed impossible just days earlier. Neuroscientist Dr. Cal Newport explains that deep work, focused attention without distraction, fundamentally rewires your prefrontal cortex. This works because your brain has 2 modes: scatter mode, constantly switching, and focus mode, sustained attention. Most people haven't activated genuine focus mode in years. When you eliminate distractions, your brain rebuilds neural pathways for sustained concentration. Research from MIT found that it takes approximately 72 hours of reduced stimulation for the brain to reset its baseline dopamine levels. Your brain essentially recalibrates what normal stimulation feels like. First, schedule your hardest cognitive work during this window. Days 3 to 4 are when your newfound clarity is most powerful, so tackle that project you've been avoiding. Second, start a clarity journal. Write down every creative idea that pops up. You'll be shocked how many insights emerge. Third, Test your new attention span. Try reading a challenging book or article for increasingly longer periods. Time yourself and watch your capacity grow daily. Fourth, protect this window fiercely. Don't reintroduce distractions just this once, or you'll reset your progress. For instance, instead of checking email first thing in the morning, spend your clearest 2 hours on deep work, then batch process messages afterward. Now, let's talk about something even more powerful that happens when you reach the midpoint. Most people don't know this, but day 5 is when the magic really happens, and the results are measurable. By day 5, you'll accomplish more before lunch than you used to finish in an entire day. Tasks that previously took hours now take 30 to 45 minutes. You'll experience what psychologist Mihaly Csikszentmihalyi calls flow state, that effortless immersion where time disappears and work feels almost automatic. You'll look up and realize 3 hours passed in what felt like 30 minutes. Your output quality also improves dramatically. Work becomes more creative, thorough, and requires less revision. Research from the University of California found that it takes an average of 5 days of consistent focus practice to significantly increase working memory capacity. This works because your brain has been building attentional endurance, like a muscle getting stronger with each workout. Dr. Gloria Mark's research on attention fragmentation shows that uninterrupted focus allows your brain to load entire problem-solving frameworks into working memory simultaneously, rather than constantly reloading from scratch. Think of it like a computer with 50 tabs open versus just 3. The processing power difference is enormous. First, identify your hardest, most important project and dedicate day 5 to making massive progress. This is your peak performance day. Use it strategically. Second, eliminate all remaining micro-distractions. Close every tab except what you're working on. Use tools like Freedom to block the entire internet if needed. Third, work in 90-minute blocks aligned with your ultradian rhythm. Our brains naturally cycle through high-focus periods every 90 minutes. Work with this rhythm, not against it. Take 15 to 20-minute breaks between blocks to reset. Fourth, document your productivity. Track how much you accomplish compared to a normal pre-challenge day. The contrast will motivate you to maintain these habits. For instance, instead of multitasking 3 projects poorly, complete 1 project thoroughly. You'll find that finishing one thing completely is more satisfying and productive than partially advancing 3 things. But wait, there's more to this, because your social life is about to transform. This next benefit is something even more powerful than productivity, and it's what makes this challenge life-changing. Around day 6, people in your life will start commenting that you seem more present. Conversations become deeper and more meaningful. You'll actually remember what people tell you. When someone talks, you're genuinely listening instead of waiting for your turn to speak or thinking about what you saw on social media. Eye contact feels natural again. You'll notice details about people you missed before. Their expressions, tone shifts, unspoken emotions. Relationships, whether with family, friends, or partners, feel more authentic and connected. Neuroscientist Dr. Daniel Siegel explains that genuine presence activates mirror neurons, brain cells that create empathy and emotional resonance. This works because distraction literally prevents emotional attunement. When part of your attention is always elsewhere, your brain can't fully process social and emotional information. Research from the University of Essex found that the mere presence of a phone on the table, even if not used, reduces conversation quality and feelings of closeness. Japanese culture has a concept called ichigo ichi, the idea that each moment exists only once and deserves full presence. When you eliminate distractions, you finally experience this ancient wisdom. First, establish phone-free zones and times. Make dinner, the first hour after work, and bedtime completely device-free. Use a physical alarm clock instead of your phone so you're not tempted to check notifications. Second, practice active listening. When someone speaks, Focus entirely on understanding, not formulating your response. Repeat back what you heard to confirm understanding. Third, schedule distraction-free dates with important people in your life. Go for walks without phones, have meal without devices, or simply sit and talk. The quality of connection will astound you both. Fourth, notice how much more you remember about people's lives when you're fully present. For instance, instead of nodding while scrolling through your phone as your partner talks about their day, put the phone in another room and ask follow-up questions. You'll be shocked at how much more you learn and how much closer you feel. This brings me to the final day and the most important decision you'll make. Now, you might be thinking this is just another temporary challenge, but day 7 is when something profound happens, a fundamental shift in how you see yourself. By day 7, you stop identifying as someone who needs to check their phone constantly or can't focus. You become someone who values attention as your most precious resource. You'll feel a sense of control and agency that was missing before. When you do reintroduce technology selectively, you'll interact with it completely differently, with intention rather than compulsion. Many people describe feeling like they woke up from a multi-year trance. Your baseline state shifts from anxious and scattered to calm and focused. Psychologist James Clear explains that true behavior change happens at the identity level, not just the action level. This works because you've proven to yourself through direct experience that you're capable of sustained focus and presence. You have evidence now, not just aspiration. Research from Stanford shows that self-perception shapes behavior more powerfully than willpower alone. When you see yourself as a focused person, focused behavior becomes automatic. The brain's reticular activating system then filters reality to confirm this new identity, creating a positive reinforcement loop. First, define your new relationship with technology. Decide which apps and platforms genuinely add value, and which are purely time-wasting. Delete the latter permanently. Second, establish systems that maintain your new baseline. Use app timers, grayscale mode, or minimalist launchers on your phone. Create friction for distracting behaviors and ease for focused ones. Third, schedule one distraction-free day weekly, usually Sunday, to reset your attention span before the week begins. Fourth, teach someone else what you learned. Explaining the challenge to others solidifies your identity as someone who values deep focus. Fifth, track one key metric monthly: hours of deep work, books read, projects completed, to maintain awareness of your capabilities. For instance, instead of gradually returning to checking social media every 5 minutes, limit yourself to 2 specific times daily for 15 minutes each. You control technology, it doesn't control you anymore. But here's what nobody tells you about what happens after the 7 days. There's a scientific reason for this final warning, and it's fascinating, because the challenge isn't completing 7 days, it's maintaining the transformation afterward. Day 8 is when most people fail. You'll feel confident that you've fixed your focus and can handle reintroducing distractions in moderation. This is the trap. Research from Duke University shows that 45% of our daily behaviors are habitual and automatic. Your old distraction patterns are still encoded in your neural pathways, waiting to be reactivated. The first time you say, "I'll just check Twitter for 5 minutes," you're not making a one-time decision. You're choosing which set of neural pathways to strengthen. That single check can undo days of rewiring within hours. Dr. Wendy Wood's research on habit formation shows that environmental cues trigger automatic behaviors faster than conscious intention can override them. This works because the distraction triggers notifications, app icons, even picking up your phone, have been repeated thousands of times, creating superhighways in your brain. Your new focus pathways are still dirt roads in comparison. 1 week isn't enough to overwrite years of conditioning. You need consistent reinforcement for at least 66 days, the average for habit automaticity, to make focus your new default. First, assume you're vulnerable to relapse and design accordingly. Don't rely on willpower, rely on systems. Keep your phone on Do Not Disturb as the default. Second, implement the one-strike rule. If you catch yourself mindlessly scrolling, immediately stop and do a 10-minute walk to break the pattern before it rebuilds. Third, find an accountability partner who's also focused on reducing distractions. Check in weekly about your screen time and attention quality. Fourth, extend the challenge in 7-day increments. Commit to another 7 days, then another, until the new patterns feel automatic. Fifth, regularly revisit your why. Write down the benefits you experienced during the challenge and review them whenever you're tempted to slide back. For instance, instead of thinking I've completed the challenge so I can go back to normal, think I've discovered a better normal, and I'm committed to protecting it. Let's quickly review what we covered today. Number 1, days 1 to 2 are the withdrawal phase. Expect discomfort and use replacement habits to survive the dopamine detox. Number 2, days 3 to 4 bring the clarity breakthrough when your brain resets and deep focus becomes possible again. Number 3, day 5 is the productivity explosion where you'll accomplish more before lunch than you used to all day. Number 4, day 6 deepens your relationships and presence, transforming how you connect with people. Number 5, day 7 creates an identity shift where you become someone who values attention as your most precious resource. R6, after day 7, the real challenge begins, maintaining these transformations through systems, not willpower. Remember, you have everything you need to reclaim your attention right now. The only difference between someone who's constantly distracted and someone who's deeply focused is the decision to eliminate distractions for just 7 days. Your attention is the most valuable asset you own, more valuable than your time, because time filled with distraction is time wasted entirely. Don't wait until you've wasted another month wondering where your time went. Start with just removing your most distracting app today, literally right now, before you finish this video. Delete it, block it, or move it to a folder you can't easily access. I promise you, 7 days from now, you'll thank yourself for taking this single action. If you found this helpful, hit that like button. It tells YouTube to share this with others who need to hear it. Subscribe for more science-backed self-improvement strategies like this. Drop a comment telling me, what's the one distraction you're committing to eliminate first? And if you want to learn about building other transformative habits, check out my video on morning routines that actually stick. I've linked it in the description and on screen right now. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.